Hello everyone, 4.5 is now the public PTU, Wave 1. And here we have the patch notes. 4.5 has no engineering and armor. However, there is not one single sentence about armor and how it is supposed to work. I didn't have much time to test this now. I just woke up. I'm now in a Hercules A2 engineering terminal. And of course, there is no seed, so you are subject to force reactions, fast reactions. Very much fun in a battle. Touch to start. And there's no bar, armor, 0 millimeters. This is of course a freshly spawned ship. Armor should be full. This is a known bug. And you have your hull health. Interestingly, I don't know how you can see your current armor value when you are in the pilot seat. Maybe I missed something. Maybe this is not in a game yet. But of course, pilots should be able to see the current armor value. Nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing. And not even in diagnostics. I hate this UI. It's so bad. So looks like pilots at the moment don't see the current armor value. Maybe I'm missing something. If I missed something, please leave a comment. And now I'm in an ITRIS and I cannot find current armor values either. Again, maybe I'm missing something. Coolers, main power plant, radar, gun, PTCs, no current armor value. Or maybe I'm blind. Nothing in power management. Nothing in shields. Nothing in safe status. Well, this is a PTU build, Wave 1, so things will most likely change before this goes to live. And yeah, CRG didn't even mention armor in the patch notes, so take this video with a huge grain of salt. I will give you some information, but there's a lot I don't understand. We are now in ITRIS engine room, where the two power plants are, and CRG removed the engineering consoles. Let's check some other ships. Radius. I cannot see the stats of my current armor on safe status. And not on diagnostics either. Hopefully CRG will address this. Nothing here. And nothing here. Polaris pilot. I'm looking around, maybe I'm missing something. Safe status, no current armor value. Diagnostics. I'm scrolling down very slowly. I am almost convinced I missed something. The pilot should be able to see current armor values. Yeah, but I cannot find anything. Let's go to engineering. I hoped CRG would put some thought into armor. I hoped CRG cannot go once again for lowest possible effort, but looks like I'm wrong. Armor seems to be just another health bar. It does not matter where your ship is hit, number goes down. So if your ship is hit at the front, armor values all around go down, even at the rear of the ship, because there's only one armor value number. Only one number, like for example with shields, when you have bubble shields. This makes sense for shields, but not for armor. Armor should be localized, important things like pilot and components should be armored. Armor will add mass to your spaceship, or I should say should add mass to your spaceship, but this is Star Citizen, so there are no physics. Mass never goes away. Each time you want to change the vector speed of your spaceship, you have to fight against its mass. Yes, even in zero-G conditions. Who cares about an armored cargo area? I don't know yet if you can only do damage to ships and components if the armor number is at 0. I didn't have time to test this yet, and I don't think I can test this yet, because armor on all ships seems to be 0 millimeters. It's in the red, even if the ship is freshly spawned. Touch to start. We have armor at 0 millimeters again. This is a freshly spawned ship. Armor should be full. This is an early Wave 1 PTU build. CRG will address this. Let's take a look at Olakin's and the numbers. Here we have again Olakin's fantastic website, Star Citizen Chips Performances Viewer. Link to this is in my first pinned comment below. Thank you very much, Olakin, for all your hard work. And here are armor values on the current 4.5 PTU Wave 1. Idris has the most armor, 2.8 million, followed by Polaris, 734,000 armor have, and we have a lot of ships with far less armor. For example, Gladius has 1,880 armor. Spartan, Quakehead PTV, Arsai Ursa and Arsai Ursa Medivac have no armor. Yeah, looks like armor is just another global health bar. Number goes down no matter where your ship is hit. I really hope that CRG would armor things like components. Then we have this, armor damage multipliers. This changed a lot. Most ships and vehicles have now no damage multiplier against physical, laser and distortion damage on this armor table anymore. One means ship vehicle takes full damage. But of course this wouldn't be CRG if there wouldn't be some errors. Ursa Medivac, Perseus, M50 still have physical armor damage reduction. Razor. Yeah, CRG never seems to check their numbers. No colleagues, no supervisors ever check anything. Then we have this one, penetration damage multipliers, here for fuses. Again, take this with a grain of salt. We don't know exactly how this is supposed to work. My guess is, in ships, fuses only take 5% damage. This is a damage multiplier. If 100 damage comes in, the fuse only takes 5 damage. I will just scroll down. And then we have ground vehicles. Looks like all ground vehicles take extra damage on fuses, 2.73 times more damage. If your fuse is hit by 100 damage, in ground vehicles you take 273 fuse damage. I don't know if this is intentional, I guess yes. And of course those numbers can still change before 4.5 will go to live and later in development. I don't think it's a big deal that ground vehicles have bad fuses, because it's very hard to target ground vehicles. For example, I was only able to target an MTC at ranges below 200 meters. And we also have component damage multipliers. Those ships, Idris, Ballista, Carrack, Zulun to name a few, take full damage to components. Then we have Hull C that only takes 90% damage to components. Reclaimer, Hercules, Caterpillar, 600i, Polaris only take 80% damage to components. I won't mention all ships, just a few. Retaliator, Andromeda, Aquila, Taurus take only 70% damage to components. By the way, many ships, for example the constellations, still don't have their physicalized components, so I don't know how this is supposed to work. Maybe they are in a default location for now. Hammerhead, Redeemer, Valkyrie, Freelancer, Zeus only take 60% damage to components. Then we have a lot of ships that only take 50% damage to components. Eclipse to Scythe. Smaller ships seem to take less damage to components. For example, Avenger Stalker only takes 40% damage to components. to Meteor. Then we have chips that only take 30% damage to components, Arrow, Lightning, Terrapin, and Terrapin Matic. Lightning seems wrong. Lightning is not a small chip. Arrow, maybe, because Arrow is so small, you will hit components very easily, but this seems to be a very artificial way to balance chips. There's also new stat, ammo penetration for energy and ballistic guns. I have no idea what this is supposed to mean. Does this mean the depth I can shoot through armor? It looks like the bigger the gun, the bigger the numbers, base distance, near radius and far radius. On one hand, armor looks way too simplified. It's just a number for the whole chip. On the other hand, ammo penetration seems to be way too complicated. And bigger guns have a lot more penetration here. For example, Idris M railgun has 107.1 meters base distance ammo penetration. There will be a Star Citizen Live on Thursday, where CRG is talking about engineering, and I hope they talk about armor too. Armor seems to be just another health bar. It's very confusing, and many numbers don't make sense. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
If you run ballistic ammunition, we will allow you to restock the ballistic ammunition. And the way that it will work is you will buy ammunition containers that then you will use to refill the pool of the ships. Then it will basically drag the ammunition out of it and then basically put it to the pool. We will unify the ammunition size, and that's just for the fact that we don't want to have you bespoke ammunition, for example, for your bearing Gatling, but we want you to share the ammunition between different weapons that share the same size of ammunition. For example, a size 3 Gatling uses the same round size as a size 2 repeater, and it uses the same size as a size 1 repeater, so you can plan your loadout accordingly. Mobile missile racks that you could push into vehicles. So these might also see the light of day at some point. Filter, that is also a new item that is added as the consumable for the life support generator. I can tell you it's already quite a lot that you have to manage and learn. So it will be fun. It will be fun. It will be fun. It will be fun.
What the fuck is going on here?
Not because our physics code is terrible, and in fact, it's great.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter or on Blue Sky.